Sports here. We're going to be talking about the Olympics today. It's just ended. Canada repeating. What's your thoughts on this year's Olympics?
I thought they played really well defensively. They didn't play as well offensively as everyone thought, but, they got the job done.
Yeah, for me, Canada, just as expected, they pretty much owned every game. Obviously, not as much offense as everyone thought, like you said, but they played really good, shut down home.
Not enough offense, but they got the job done, and that's what mattered. That's what got them the medal, so it was a great job.
In terms of any surprises, Russia being eliminated, personally, when I was doing this beforehand, I put Russia third or second. I put them in the medal round, but obviously they didn't get there. Well, why do you think Russia was unsuccessful on their home turf?
Well, they had a lot of pressure. Not saying that was the cause, but you have some of the best players in the world on your team. They're not necessarily the best team players; they're individual players, and that's another reason why they didn't get it done. They didn't bring a lot of NHL or professional players or coaches to the tournament, and that's why I think they didn't get it done.
Along with that, for me, I think it just starts with the D. All of them just collapsing on every play, and they have got star forwards, but it doesn't all come together. And other teams like Finland, they had a great team game, just all around beat them. Better team.
I think it's a coaching staff. They need better coaching if they think they're going to win a gold medal, especially in their home turf. It was a disappointment for them and their fans.
USA really coming out in the round robin. They didn't have the easiest division. Really dominant. They were scoring, maybe like 5 on average in the round robin. They come in, 2 most important games. They don't get a goal in both of them, losing a tight one, 1-0 to Canada, and then losing 5-0 to Finland. Do you think USA came into the final medal rounds way too cocky?
Part of that, yes. They relied, I think, too much on their scoring ability at times in those 2 games, and the defense lacked a little bit. And I think a big downfall for them is that they didn't really play as well as a team game as Finland or even as Canada in those last 2 games.
Similar with Russia, I think their D, a lot of inexperience there, and they did rely too much on their forwards, and Finland just sucked the life out of them in that bronze medal game.
I think that game against Canada, they just lost their steam there. They couldn't get anything done against Canada's defense. And then once they played Finland, I don't think they took the game too seriously. They had that 5-0 loss to a team that they shouldn't have been losing 5-0 to. It was just a disappointment in the medal round.
In terms of the final game, I know everyone's been talking about the Nick Backstrom incident where he didn't pass a drug test because he was taking allergy pills. Do you think if they had guys like Zetterberg, Sedin, like I said, Backstrom, do you think that would have been a completely different game? Do you think Canada maybe would have been less dominant in that game if they had those 3 NHL stars on Sweden?
I don't think it would have been that much of a different game for Canada. They would have played their typical North American, hard-hitting Canadian game that we all love, battling in the corners, winning the puck battles. And, guys like the Sedins and Backstroms, they kind of shy away from that. But, those guys were key for them in the tournament. You could tell when they lost them.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think it would make too much of a huge difference. You watch all of Canada's games. They really just, such a good shutdown team. Their D, their goalie, all their forwards playing great. And, yeah, I don't think, they're good players, Zetterberg and Backstrom, but I don't think they make much of a difference.
I don't think it's much of a difference because all the teams in the tournament had an injury or 2, so it's just about adapting to it. You can even say the argument, what if Canada had Stamkos, it would be different.
That's right. As well, the last thing we want to talk about with this year's Olympics is the actual MVP of the tournament. Teemu Selanne got rewarded the MVP because, as you guys all know, this was obviously his last Olympics. Kind of a nice story, beating a team. They're definitely the underdog going in, I think, my opinion, even though they did have a goalie like Tuukka Rask. I think Finland was the team in that bronze medal game. I definitely didn't expect them to win 5-0. I don't think anyone, did you guys expect them to win 5-0? So, but a lot of people obviously are considering Carey Price the MVP of the tournament. Who do you guys think would be the MVP of the tournament? Or should have been the MVP of the tournament?
Well, I like the way Jamie Benn played. I thought he would have made a good candidate for MVP tournament. he worked hard. He proved himself that he can do well on not just Olympic level, but also in the NHL as of late. And I think he would have made a great candidate for MVP.
For me, I'm going to go with Jonathan Toews. That guy, the most consistent player, I think, in the NHL, and he brought it over to the Olympics. All the little things he does, taking pucks out of corners, he's just so good. I love Price too, but playing behind a really good defensive team, I think we could have won it with really anyone.
I think Drew Doughty should have been the MVP based on Canada's forwards were like no shows in the preliminary games, and Drew Doughty picked up the pace. He scored the goals when they were needed, and he should have been rewarded with the MVP.
Thanks, guys, for watching the Olympic review. So the finals was Canada taking home their second consecutive gold medal. Goals scored by Kunitz, Crosby, Taves in the finals. Second place going to Sweden, Erik Karlsson trying to lead them the way. And third, going to Teemu Selanne and the Finnish team beating the States 5-0. Thanks, guys. Comment, subscribe. Also, follow us on Twitter. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching.